dynamic blend of ideas, passion, and energy. Unleash the power of youth perspective. Don't just listen, be part of the conversation that shapes the future. Youth Voices, igniting change one voice at a time. Are you ready?
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man, with my two hands in the air as far as I can.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of You Voices. Of course, apologies for being this late, of course. Circumstances beyond our control this afternoon. However, it is definitely a pleasure to be in studio with you once more. And this afternoon, as usual, is nothing different as we are diving into discussion with a young man who we all might know as a music artist and might know by his stage name, Pilot. But today, I am not just interviewing Pilot. I'm interviewing Mr. Lester Pilot Modest. So, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
And how do you feel? I know it was a journey coming down here to Sufre. So, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. It's been a while. I've been down these ends and I kind of took a break from the whole music vibe for a good while. So feels good to be back.
Nice. And of course, it's a pleasure having you in studio with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
And like I said, we're diving straight into discussion since we're running a little behind time today.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about who is Mr. Lester Pilot Modest.
Well, that Lester Pilot Modest coming down with it. But yeah, I'm from Choiseul. Went to Sufre Secondary. Like we went to school together. Well, during that time you were there. And I've just been very passionate about music from a young age. I mean, big up Bill, big up Big Vibe, all the fellas in the form that used to, Edwin, of course, create music that also gave me a little inspiration to venture into it and to figure it out on my own. And after many years, a couple of years ago, I think it was 4 years ago, I had my first, I guess, big hit song, Plenty Lovin', and just taking it from there right now.
Okay. And of course, I want to highlight the fact that you bigged up Bill.
Yeah,
of course, he's our first person to comment for this afternoon. So big up yourself, Bill.
Yes, it can be
Big up. And of course, another thing I want to mention and take some time to big up this afternoon is Team SCSS. I mean, everybody who went to SCSS, Sufre Comprehensive Secondary School.
Definitely.
We are definitely talented. You might not be a singer, you might be a drummer. If you're not a drummer, you might be an artist, something. But when you step into the gates, we know at least your future is bright.
Yeah.
So, of course, look at you about to call you Bill, you know.
Sika, big up yourself.
Sika. But, of course, Pilot, like you mentioned, one of your biggest hits was Plenty Lovin' Come In.
Yeah.
And before having such a hit song, I know you released music before that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about how or what do you think you did different when it came to the other music compared to Plenty Loving that everyone certainly
Yeah.
loved?
Well, when I started, I back in secondary school, I started with R&B, still trying to get my foot in. Then I went into soca music. Still didn't quite work out for me. Then I tried. Originally, Plenty Loving was written in English, and the thought just occurred to me. I said, let me try and translate it to Creole, just to try something out.
Right?
And then the way my voice came out on it and the way it flowed, it just felt right. And then the people gravitated to it, and I was like, yes, I found my niche right there. And I just kept making music similar to it, like barracks and prayer.
Right.
And then, you get a feel for, okay, that's what works for you. And I just kept with that.
Okay. And of course, with Plenty Loving, let me tell you, I think, like you said, it is one of those that most persons love. And from your whole list of music,
Yeah.
I think I could say that is the one I might know word to
That
word.
one.
So, what inspired you to write Plenty Loving Come In?
Um, well, I was writing together with a partner of mine. I don't know if you know Aidan Octave. He's
I've
from
heard the name.
Shrewsbury. Yeah, he's a
Mhm.
writer also. And we were going through beats, and then he sent me that beat. He lives lower down my home, so while listening to that rhythm came to mind. And from that was just stuck in my head the whole day. And I just went home, and then I kind of used a situation that I was going through, and for the lyrics, and I just followed the melody, and then simple as that. It took about an hour, maybe. Yeah, it took about an hour or so, and then the song was written and all already.
Now, you saying that you actually wrote basically about something you were going through.
Yeah,
I think that is what happened, really, yeah? Because
yeah.
you see, when you're writing and everything, I guess you put your emotions into it.
Emotion, yes.
So, and I believe it is a song that most persons can relate to.
Yeah.
So, if you even sharing an experience through music, that was a brilliant idea, a very brilliant idea, because this is where persons are able to actually enjoy it. Even it can be okay. I having a little go poil, and
Some
Plenty
yeah,
Loving
it's
Come
easy.
In.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all I could sing. That's all that would make me feel good.
Yeah.
So big up you for that. That was a
Yeah,
great move.
appreciate it. Yeah.
And of course, after Plenty Loving Come In, you have released other music.
Yeah.
And what would you say has it been like for you?
After Plenty Loving, I released Prayer. I think that was my second release. A lot of people gravitated to that. That was like a couple months after Plenty Loving. It's still getting good reviews. Then it was Barracks. A few people know that one. And then I have a song with Bree Inside. And just sticking to the same formula, but still trying out different things in the meanwhile also. But I must say it's been good so far. Definitely things I have to work on, such as marketing and working on the modern ways to get your song in the face of people. Using TikTok, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and all of these
Right.
things. So I'm learning to use these things right now to get that more exposure. But it's definitely been, I would say, a learning process so far.
Okay. And of course, with you being an artist, and are you originally from Choiseul?
Yeah, originally from Trinidad.
Okay. And I know sometimes it could be a struggle getting your music out there.
Yeah.
So share with us a little about your challenges being a
Challenges, yeah.
Southman, because most
tough,
of the resources sometimes is all the way in the north.
all the way in the north.
So tell us a little about the challenges that you have faced just trying to grow with music.
It's a big challenge coming from the south. I feel as if, in my personal opinion, I feel as if you have to work twice as hard, especially to get, to go mainstream. Even the simplest thing as getting to a recording studio. In my opinion, the two best on island. In my opinion, Ransom, big up Audio Labs also. Ransom is Ancillary, Audio Labs is Savans Bay, Viewfort. So even getting there, is a hassle, and you could start by that.
Right.
And then everything else that comes, after that, trying to make a name for yourself and trying to prove to people like, yeah, you have it. So I definitely feel like you have to work twice as hard. But if you put the work in, I feel like there's a light at the end of that tunnel for
Right.
me.
And I definitely agree. But with all of your challenges, we could see that everything worked out pretty fine.
Yeah, but I'm still
And
going through the.
yeah, I mean,
I say it's working out, but I'm still.
we have to face the challenges,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
is one thing. We could see that you're persistent and you're going for it.
Yeah.
Because one thing again that I really do appreciate about not just you but other young artists that I see trying to grow, after one release, you don't give up.
Yeah.
After another, it still didn't reach the audience that you wanted.
Yeah.
You still didn't give up. To the point where, of course, something like Plenty came out and like
Yeah.
booming everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody is actually enjoying it.
Enjoying it.
So that could see, and it clearly shows to how persistent you are and how ready you really truly want to do this. So when it comes to you finding your rhythms and everything, I'm a little curious as to how. How do you know what rhythm goes with the lyrics?
I think it's a feel. Everybody has their technique. With me, I go through instrumentals. So sometimes Ransom will send me some instrumentals. Sometimes audio labs. If I'm bored, I go through YouTube, go through beats. And it's such a thing where you might go through 30 of them until you find that one that suits you. But it's a trial and error. Yeah, it's a trial and error thing. So it's basically going through instrumentals, freestyling, trying and get a rhythm, and trying to come up with something that's catchy. Yeah. Start it up when Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to make sure you look good on camera for everybody.
And
So
then
of
zoom
course,
in right there.
with all of that, I am indeed one of those who are proud of you. Let me tell you, I'm very proud of myself, people doing it big. And just to put a pin in there, a lot of the artists doing well in St. Lucia right now have roots from the South. I just want to put that out there. So that is something to show that our young men and our young women, I don't think we really have young women from the South, but our young men especially, they are go-getters. And you guys, despite the red tape everywhere, you jump over it and you go for what you want. So we know that there is this artist side to you that everybody loves and enjoy. Now, at first, when I saw Pilot, to me, Pilot was a very quiet person. I don't know what he will share with you all this
Back in,
afternoon. For me, but then when you get to know him, he has this personality, this joyous personality, someone that is warming and welcoming. So tell us a little about just you being an artist. I know not many persons are humble when it comes to that name of an artist. How do you go about day to day socializing with persons, knowing that okay, you're a big man in society?
Yes. Well, I always get that humble thing, and I think, I mean, we're all in this together. You never know from who you'll get the next idea from who you'll get the next big hit from. So, because you know you starting to make way, it doesn't mean you should look down on the other person and be like, boy, who's me say to come and, you know, try and make a song with me or feature or whatever, because it's all a back and forth of ideas. So you never know from who you get that next vibe from, that next feeling, that next, you know, that next song from. So from experience, I still struggle to understand how some artists act like that, the egotistical types. But for me, I've always been humble, and that's just me. I'll always stay that way.
And
Well,
that's-
hopefully I always stay that way. Yeah, no, if the money comes. So, nah, but all jokes aside, I'll always be that way. Yeah.
And that's good. Please stay that way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have to remember where we
Yeah,
came
where you
from.
come from. Yeah.
And it's nice again, let me tell you, I know the guy and he has that humbling spirit. When I approached him to even be on the show, you know, sometimes people just want to give you all kind of story. I decide that. But then Pilot was supposed to be on with us last week, but of course we had some technical difficulties, so we were off air. And he didn't mind coming in the next week. But somebody else, let me tell you, a ring around the rosy story.
And I've been following the show for a while too. If you notice me under the comments.
Yes, always.
Yeah,
And thank you
lovely
so
vibe,
much for the
lovely vibe.
support.
Yeah.
And of course, it is truly, truly appreciated. one thing I always say, support those who support you.
Yeah,
And that's
definitely.
how it should be. So I am still a little curious as to you being a young man, and of course I know I have heard your names in some past interviews when it comes to relate to music.
Yeah.
But tell me a little about you and what truly deep down inspired you to want to be an artist.
Deep down, I think deep down it started from an egotistical standpoint. Like,
Okay.
I was hearing songs out there and I was like, Gassa, if I go in the studio, I can do better than that. I was thinking to myself, yeah, like, if I go to the studio, listen to the song, I can do better. Because I always used to sing before, like sing other songs, like kind of karaoke vibes. So I kind of had a little idea of melody and what people like to hear
Right.
and stuff. So it stemmed from that, and of course watching Bill, Edwin, what's his name, Big Vibe,
Big Vibe,
all the fellas. Just watching them create music that also inspired me, and just being around that, I just tried it out. I downloaded, I forget what software at the time, and I just went through YouTube, tried some beats, and after trial and error, a lot of trial and error, I got there. I got to a certain level. Yeah, and that was, mind you, I was like 8 years ago or so.
Oh wow,
And then,
it's just so
yeah.
little time and it feels like so long.
Yeah, so-
But it's funny how you said it started from an egotistical standpoint. I don't want to
Until-
say it like that.
yeah,
But I think that you just wanted to come in and change the game.
yeah,
And that's normal because sometimes, let me tell you, I just tell myself, girl, you just want to do so much. Because when I look out there and I see certain things that people are doing, I'm like, but I could actually go into this and do this quality.
yeah, and you
But
feel like you can do it to
yeah,
like a higher standard,
Right.
like.
But then sometimes we don't know the challenges that come
That-
with it, and
yeah,
only
that's
when you're
true.
in it you realize, like,
Yeah.
boy, that's real tough. And trust me, you encountered many challenges, so you
Yeah,
would
many,
understand.
yeah.
But it is good that that was actually a way for you to start. So young people, here's a way to start. If you want to do better, see better, that's how I
let's
see it.
let's try it. If
Yeah,
you think
try
you
it
can
out.
do better. If you think you have
Put
new
your
ideas.
foot forward and say, hey, let
Yeah.
me try something and whatnot. If you don't like Pilot's music, by chance, and you feel you can do better than him, go in a studio,
Yes,
try
do-
something.
yeah, you might make the next hit.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So, don't sleep, try something, and of course, sometimes if we just stay back, sit back, we can never really change the world. So,
Yeah.
everyone can actually contribute to change. So, of course, with that, I am truly happy to see again that you have grown so much when it comes to you being in music. Now, a very interesting question because I'm
Roger.
curious.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if many persons know your line of work as a professional.
Come and out me them.
I'm not. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Where do you find the balance when it comes to you being an officer and you being an
Yeah.
artist? How do you find the balance, I should say?
The balance is a bit tricky
Mm-hmm.
because you have to be mindful of a lot of things like your lyrics, the content you put out as far as music videos, etc. So there's a couple boundaries, but once you work in the confines of that, it's not as difficult as it may seem, but it is difficult. I mean, Kaka have been doing it 4 years,
Yeah.
and some of the songs.
That's one another show.
What is it? I hope you don't come for me, but I ain't saying, So it's difficult. You have to work within the confines of certain things, but it's not impossible.
Right.
I've been doing it.
Yeah, but okay. So let me give you a scenario. So let's say you were out in your uniform
Yeah.
and maybe there are a few young ladies who saw you from afar and they're running towards you.
I'm a dream. Okay, go ahead.
And they're running towards you.
Yeah.
You know, pilot, can I get a photo of you? Can I get a photo of you, please? Like, what would your reaction be? Like, you being in uniform and not being in that artist space at the time.
Well, a picture isn't. The picture isn't bad once it's not like any, vulgarity type stuff. But it's hard to use. Like
But what
when
if they're not dressed appropriately?
you see, you see,
Now it
so
gets tricky.
now it gets a little tricky. But I mean, there's no harm in a picture once there's nothing vulgar happening.
I understand.
Really.
I understand. And
But yeah, well, as you indicated, it's not as easy as it means because certain things, you have more boundaries. The artists out there have more leeway to use lyrics, videos, more free, more freedom in expression. Sorry,
right.
when it comes to these things, but you have to be mindful that you choose a profession and you have to uphold it.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And of course, with that, we could definitely say that there is time and place for everything.
Exactly.
And it is good too to see that there there are standards and boundaries when it comes to you being a professional and you also being an artist. At least you understand both, and so okay, this you won't be able to offer at that time, and this I won't be able to offer at that time. But still, I don't know how you truly find the balance with being
Yeah.
this at 1 minute and that at the other minute, because definitely I know sometimes it could be hard.
It could be.
It could be
Right.
very hard.
It's almost like I don't want to call it. You have to have two kind of mindsets, two kind of personalities almost. So you switch into professionalism and you switch into that artist mode. Sometimes it's hard to find that boundary, so you have a little gray area. But it's a switch that you have to learn and practice so that you don't do anything that you see yourself on social media and you know already
Boy,
how it goes.
let me
Now
tell
what
you.
It does get there.
But
Yeah.
with all of that, it let me tell you, it can really be tough,
Tough,
Really be
it-
tough.
line, it tough.
It's tough for us sometimes when we're professionals.
Yeah.
But I know that you've been in it for a while and whatnot, and you've had some hit songs. Anything new coming out?
Yes, I have a couple songs coming out this summer. I'm just waiting for the whole carnival season and all of that to just pass through because that's not really my genre. But I kind of stray away from that. I'm trying to focus more on the regional type of content that I've been putting out, which is Afro Creole
Right.
type of vibe. So yeah, a couple songs coming this summer.
That's good.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to y'all hearing it and the reaction from that. Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to it. And of course, for those of you just joining us again, we have with us Mr. Lester Modest, better known as Pilot, of course, with the song that we all love. And there's no doubt that we all don't know Plenty Lovin' Coming.
Yeah.
I know that everybody knows that one. So, of course, we have the big man in studio with us, just telling us a little about just him being an artist and how far he has come. And so, of course, if you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Feel free to ask any questions if you wish. As we are coming down with time, we still have a few minutes, but feel free to ask if you have any. Another thing I want to ask, I don't usually see a lot of collabs when it
Yeah.
comes to artists. I think everybody just like to shine by themselves.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts when it comes to wanting to collab with other artists in St. Lucia?
I definitely believe, in a sense, the more minds put to a project, the better it would sound. Because sometimes I might hear something and I thinking it good, but another artist, that might have a better musical ear will tell me, boy, that pitch you do there, that height, or something. So it's definitely been something that I've always been open to. I have a song with Sika Rhymes, Big Up Yourself, Sika. I have one with Rashad, with Bree. I'm not sure if you know
Yeah.
Bree. So definitely, I have a soca with Young Vic. That's a guy from the south also. So it's definitely something that I do,
Right.
and I encourage people to do it. And I think other time, we let our ego to come in between that. But it's definitely something that you should be open to.
And I agree.
And I am open to. Yeah.
I agree. But of course, with that being said, I am looking forward to a few collabs. Maybe not now, but in the future.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about where do you see yourself in the future as an artist?
Future. Definitely definitely I'd say high quality, more higher quality when it comes to videos, and putting music that's more accepted, that would be more accepted globally than in our niche,
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean islands, or in our region.
Right.
Yeah, so definitely songs that could go beyond these borders, and that's definitely what I'm aiming for with some of what I have coming this summer, and that I'm in the process of working on.
Okay, great
Yeah.
vibes, great vibes. And one thing I forgot to highlight a while ago, when you said that you're staying away a little from the whole carnival vibe and just allowing it to pass through,
Yeah.
um, your genre of music is unique, and
Yeah.
that is one thing I have realized. We don't really have a wide variety of music. Everybody wants to go into the Dennery segment and
Yeah.
whatnot, but there's this small population of artists who would actually do something different, like Afrobeats, and then you have people like Bill
Doing
rapping
rap,
and
yeah,
everything, and
reggae.
the vibe is just different. So that too is commendable, and you actually have your own people, and that is
Yeah.
very good. And like I said, we are coming down with time, pilot, but I want you to just share with us some words of inspiration to, especially young persons who would love to go not just into music, but something relating to art. Um, how can they pave their way as youngsters, and what should they do?
Um, I'd say to them, like, if you believe that you can do it, put in the work, and don't let the obstacles will keep coming. Like, even when you're at a certain level where I think I'm making my way there, the obstacles still coming. So if you really believe that you can do it, and you feel like you're passionate about it, just keep at it. Just keep hammering that wall, and eventually you will see a light. And sometimes you see a light, you see another wall behind it, but
Right.
it's something that you really have to put in the hours, and really have to put in the time and the effort towards. That's why I commend Sika Rhymes. Sika Rhymes been at it from secondary school, been just putting out music, active on social media. That's why I take a lot of pointers from him also. Just basically keeping at it until you reach there, and eventually you will. In
Right.
between then and now is just work.
Mhm.
It's just work, time, and effort. Yeah.
Definitely. And thank you so much for these words. And of course, young people, you heard it from him. Keep at it. Do what you have to do. And like we said earlier, if you feel like you want to change the world, if there is something that you believe that maybe you just don't like the way it's been done, feel free to step in,
Yeah.
but do it the right way. Positive vibes always. And big up to each and every one of you. But before Pilot leaves us this afternoon, of course, Pilot, I'm giving you the opportunity to take some time and big up a few persons
Yeah.
that have been with you on this journey.
All right. Big up Sly. Big up yourself. Sly is going up for Soca Monarch. I think his semi-finals is Saturday,
Right.
if I'm correct. So Sly, big up yourself. All the best. All the best on that. Sika Rhymes. Big up yourself. If you're there, Crown, big up yourself. Hype Kid. Mama, if I do mention some names there. Big up Ransom, big up yourself. Audio Labs. The whole of year is in. Everybody that trying to accomplish something, that pushing for their goal, big up yourself.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are having a blessed evening, and it's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you for reaching out.
No
to me.
problem. Anytime.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Positive vibes.
And of course, if persons wish to contact you, how can we do so? Just do this.
Okay. On Instagram, Pilot Music 758. You can reach out to me on Instagram. Yeah, YouTube Pilot Music 758 also. I'm on all streaming platforms as Pilot 758. And yeah, that's it. That's me.
All right. And of course, you just heard the man himself, Pilot. If you wish to check him out, check him on Instagram, Facebook, on streaming platforms.
Yeah, streaming platforms.
Go ahead and search Pilot 758 and be sure to follow him and find him on there. And don't forget to follow our pages at YouVoices 758, both on Instagram and on Facebook. I have been promising you guys a giveaway, and it's definitely coming soon. So if you are not following us, you won't be able to participate. So please don't fool my head at the end of the day. I gave you the heads up, so follow Pilot, follow your voices, follow persons who have been on the show. Ensure that you're following them because you don't know what's coming. So ensure that you're following everyone. And so this is where we wrap up today. And I say a huge thank you to Pilot for joining us this afternoon. Of course, our show was a little short today, but I am pretty sure that persons were inspired and they got to know a little about you. And we are definitely looking forward to some new music in the summer. So, of course, this is why I say thank you once again for joining us. Of
Thanks
course,
for having me.
Youth Voices family always welcomes people like you to come and share your story and just to continue to support you and see you grow. So, thank you, everyone, for staying tuned in, and do enjoy the rest of the week. Please be safe on the weekend. Be safe on the road, and please, 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 work hard, and you know the rest. Take care, everyone.
This is your homegirl Liz. I'm always locked on to 88.5 Super FM. It's hot, hot, hot.
Well, right now, I am Jawiz. Upset